Thanks again for joining us today, everyone. I have a new friend with me today, Justin. And Justin, we're going to be talking about La La Land today. But first, tell everybody, kind of who you are, a little bit about what you want them to know about you.
Yeah, my name is Justin. I'm also known as Freddie's roommate all over the internet. You can find me wherever toys are sold. That's on TikTok, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, all that stuff, at Freddie's roommate. I love talking about movies because, I don't know, it's one of my literally favorite things to talk about at any time on any day. And I'm so glad you're just giving permission to me to yap about one of my
Yes,
favorite
please.
movies of all time. So pumped.
Cool.
Are you pumped?
I'm excited. Honestly, that's why I do this. It's kind of like permission to take someone hostage and talk about a thing I really like to talk about for an hour. You said it's one of your favorite movies of all time. Why La La Land?
It so hurts. It's the most painful movie I've ever watched. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
In a good way.
Yes.
Like I was like shedding thug tears over it, I watched it last night, and it's like,
yeah.
It's a movie about the movies, so I'm a sucker for that kind of things.
Meta.
Just movies, about the industry, about art in general. It came out at such like a weird time, wasn't it? Like, I think it was before.
It was end of 16, I think.
Yeah, it's just like so much hope in this movie, but also devastation. What do you think is the saddest part in this movie?
I don't know if it's the saddest part, but maybe the most part, I guess that's not really an emotion, but that's how I know how to explain it. It's the final scenes kind of, with the sliding doors moment kind of thing, with what could and what couldn't have, what was and what wasn't, and that kind of thing. And I think it's just the gut punch of did it have to go the way it did? Look at how beautiful this is, but also I'm sure they had beautiful lives, the other way as well. It's just, I think it was that moment that he was in. I think probably the saddest part, which we can talk more in detail when we get to it, is the scene where he's talking her into the audition. At least that one hurts me the most personally.
What if I'm not good enough?
Hard. Just, it was rough, but
especially as creatives, she says I'm done embarrassing myself. And she's always putting herself on the line for the art that she cares about, and people are just on their phones, interrupting her audition. And I get it. I get it. As creative person myself, it is rough, making yourself bleed for the art that you care about. And I think that's what Damien Chazelle. It's even in First Man. Have you seen First Man that goes to space? How far are you willing to go about something to care about? It's the what with Ryan Gosling. It's about the guy who goes to space. What's his name? Oh my God!
We're Ohioans.
Neil
aren't
Armstrong.
We supposed to know this?
There we go.
I was blanking too, and I said, "We're Ohioans. Aren't we supposed to know this?"
Listen.
He's from my hometown.
Yeah, I'm trying my best, but otherwise, I don't know. I love La La Land. I love how hopeful it can be. I disagree with it sometimes. I think Ryan Gosling's part, Sebastian, should have been a black person. I've been saying that for years. And in fact,
that's not
wrong. Think almost every single part that Ryan Gosling has ever played should have been played by a black person. Think about it.
I'm thinking of at least 2 or 3 just off the top of my head, and you're not wrong. You're not. I'm not going to argue with you on that at all, because I mean, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Crazy Stupid Love. They already did. It's called Hitch.
There. See, I did think that. I did think that when I watched it. I did think that. Yeah.
See?
Yeah. You're not wrong. And The Notebook, honestly, kind of fixes the movie a little bit.
Yeah. Fixes a lot of the movie.
Yeah. But The Notebook just makes me always think of James Marsden and how he never gets the girl. That's what I always think of when I think of that movie.
That is sad. And you know what's crazy is The Notebook does fix it, because in the play they made a musical, or I think it was a play, about The Notebook, and they are. Ryan Gosling is played by a black person, so that's crazy.
Well, that makes sense. Anyway. It does make sense. They both kind of start in the same place, for their, to your point, they kind of have their own, movies and jazz, but they each have their own category of thing that's their passion. I think one of my favorite scenes is the one where she requests the song at the party when he's doing the 80s cover band. And like, she has this like big, bold, like, I don't care kind of confidence that I'm just gonna like mess with this guy out of nowhere that just kind of seems like, whoa, where did that come from at first? But it's amazing. And that I love that scene because she just like full commits to her like
Yeah.
dancing for him in the weird front row.
I think that's one of the many themes of the movie. To be loved is to be seen, you know? And when you're making art like this, especially the movies, you know what I mean? You are constantly like fishing to be seen. And so when she goes to that party, and I don't know if you heard Iran recently before, it's like it's the most boring piano parts. It's like bum bum bum, the most boring piano part. So he has to pay attention there. You know what I mean? And then
That's so funny.
You know, at least to know that his music is affecting something somewhere, you know? But also, it's like the whole thing with Ryan Gosling's in his gig. I feel as though he feels that he has to suffer for his art, you know? This is like, I don't know, he has to like, he's okay with cutting himself open for like the thing that he loves, you know? But also wanting for something greater because all this like almost bloodletting will lead to something greater, right? And I think his similar, like when John Legend was like, hey, you want to play the keys in my band? Is a similar risk of like, what if I lose myself in this? What if I become something that I don't want to be, you know? But like, that's a part of the movies. You have to cut yourself open and become something greater in yourself to reach that success that you want to.
Yeah.
I think they could have stayed together, but that's a whole nother thing.
Right. That's the whole,
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there. But that's a devastating movie. It's so devastating.
Yeah, I think that is interesting that like it is a hard fine balance of like paying your dues and versus selling out kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like there's a like fine line of like what is one versus the other, I think, a little bit when because you have to jump through some hoops to get to where you want to go, but you don't want to jump through every hoop that everybody puts in front of you because they're not all like true to who you are and some of them can ask too much of you and that kind of thing. And so I think that's the line where like I didn't understand where he was like all of a sudden like just I'm gonna be in this band for years. Like that was kind of weird. Like
because money is intoxicating. He was getting paid for his art. You know what I mean?
But it wasn't art though. Like to him, it wasn't.
I mean, it was art.
I thought it was cool, but like he didn't think it was cool. To her point, you know, like no, it felt like again, but because he's not communicating and like we're not really seeing a lot of like what's going on with him other than when he's playing kind of at that point in the movie. Like I think it was kind of like shocking to hear that he had like just committed but I feel like they probably told his character that way because that's probably how it was experienced by people in his life.
When she was talking to her family and her parents are like dogging on him like he doesn't have a job, he doesn't have a thing. No, he's figuring it out. And that's when he chooses to accept a job with John Legend. He makes the decision for her without communicating it to her because he's notoriously bad at communicating.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, there's a couple scenes with them that are just kind of like, almost like why you watch the movie, like why you let yourself hurt. Because like, you know, you get the song and the walking to the car scene of What a Waste of a Lovely Night. You get that, which is like such an homage to old like Hollywood dance scenes and stuff. And like,
is this your favorite scene?
It's so fun. Like
it's the scene of the movie.
I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's one of them because I've always liked old movies, like even when I was a kid. And so I think there's just something that like just likes that classic vibe. I also find it really interesting and cool the way they decided to like make this whole movie. But I don't know. What's your favorite scene in the movie?
My favorite scene? Oh,
so it's like not a thing I actually think about probably until you asked me that. And I was like, I don't know. Feels like hard to pick.
The ending is brutal, but I love it so much. There's nothing that can replicate me saying it for the first time and realizing, wait, that's not Sebastian. That's her logo. No, at the very end is probably a favorite scene, but also Lovely Night. It's the scene in the movie. It's like
good.
It's what I would say. I guess I don't know the creme de la creme of like the pinnacle of this movie because it's the iconic poster as well, hitting the iconic pose. I think it's the perfect synthesis of a movie musical. It's it's where they meet each other for the first time. Like not physically meet, but like meet each other's, the themes
Like
of the
they,
movie meet
yeah,
in the middle of the movie and the music at the same
yeah,
time.
yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah. No, it's so good. When you were talking though, I did think about because you said something about the end of the movie. I think I know what my favorite scene is, but it's
Ooh.
it's it's for depressing reasons. Like audition, I just feel like the audition scene and the song, like
No, not the one where it's like, no, you be tripping, Jamal.
no, not that one. Yeah, that one's my favorite. Totally. Best one. No, but like I think just everything that leads up to that and then everything that happens in that room, like I think is such a I think even the reason that she's there is just so like, yes, that's what you want. Like she's there because she took a risk and she did the play and like she thought it was a bust, but the right person was there and thought it was great. Like so she was like authentically herself and made this thing that was a lot of work and a big risk, but then gets her this movie like because I have only watched it probably 3 times,
Three
but
times, 3 times.
probably because I love it, but it does hurt. Like
Yeah,
it
I think you should
just
watch
sticks with
Babylon.
you.
Babylon
Okay,
hurts more. Babylon's more of an assault on the
it
senses.
is so okay.
It is. It's like it
I
beats
mean,
you
I
up.
believe you. I believe you.
That movie just beats you up. Like that whole first scene is just absolutely wild.
Mm,
But I love Babylon, and it's in the exact same location too. La La Land. I mean, not location, but it's in Hollywood. So it's all
gotcha.
about that. Highly
Gotcha.
recommend it.
Cool. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess let me think of what my other go-to questions that I haven't maybe covered
They keep
here.
going through the movie like beat by beat.
We've kind of like jumped around so much. I'm not sure I know where we are. We've jumped around a little bit, but like, I guess, they get together. He kind of signs his life away a little bit with John Legend, and which I mean, it's John Legend, so
Do you think he
easy
sells
enough.
his life away? I don't think
I
he
think
does.
he signs a contract. Like, I mean, I don't know. He doesn't sell his life away, but like, he does really kind of commit to something at least. He sells out for sure because it's not like true to him. Like, I think big picture for someone else that's not selling out, I think for him it was like because he wasn't enjoying it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it was good, the music was good and it was a good experience, but like I think the touring in my mind I was like thinking the exact same thing that she was thinking, which was like whatever this like tour that they were doing like right then, like yeah, he's doing that tour. Like but then
Mm,
he was like, "No, I'm in the band." Like, like versus like I'm touring with them.
mm.
Like he was kind of committing to like more of a long-term thing versus I saw the paying his dues version was do the tour. The selling out version is being in a band where I don't even like the music. Like, that's kind of my take on it. But you disagree?
I mean, the money for the club didn't come from nowhere.
Right, for sure. For sure.
I think it cost more than one tour.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
I don't see it as selling out. I think it's making a concession. Like his character says, like jazz is all about like conflict and resolution. Conflict now does not mean conflict forever. The conflict of him not liking the music now doesn't mean that he won't like it forever. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I think it's a synthesis of the movie. He
Yeah.
eventually got the resolution that he
Right.
wanted. He
Yeah.
eventually got the club that he wanted because of the tours that he went on.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's conducive for the relationship that he wanted. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
think Mia views it as like as a concession or selling out,
Yeah.
because the only dream that she believes is like unbelievably possible is the one where she is on the movie screen. To be loved is to be seen. If you are not, and for her to look at him on the stage and not be seen or be the background feels like a betrayal of her dream. If for them to get to where they want to go, they have to follow their own methods of ways
Yeah.
of doing things. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's how I looked at it.
Yeah.
And so their methodology was inherently clashing at the same time.
Yeah. I think that's where I felt like it was confusing and selling out for me because it wasn't clear to me what his goal was. Obviously at the end it's clear what he did and how he got there, but like in the middle it feels
I disagree.
you're allowed to. You're allowed to. You're allowed to.
And she's like, what is she like? he asked her, "Do you like the music I'm playing?" She says, "Yes, I do. I just didn't think you did." And I think through that, like the whole fight scene, quote unquote fight scene, he is operating off of the assumption that to be in this relationship, to love, is for her to be seen. And when he is at the club and he plays the riff, right, that is him telling her without using words, I guess, that if this relationship continued, if they went and did all the things, right, he would never have his dream. He would have been playing in Paris. In that whole vision, there is no Sebs.
That's fair.
There is
That's
no
fair.
Sebs, and so how do I say this? I think that's why they broke up, is because their methodology is different,
Yeah. Yeah.
the methodology of their dreams, the bloodletting of loving what
Right.
you love
Yeah.
is just incompatible, unfortunately.
Forgetting the date for that particular thing is pretty
Mhm.
egregious. I don't know. That one hurt. That one would really hurt, especially because like there were so few people there, like that he wasn't one of
Brutal.
them. The lights come up and you can't like just not find him because you can find everyone, like because no one was there. And so
He had a
yeah.
cue card. He had a little card reserved for him.
Yeah.
And you
That
look
made
out
it
in the
worse.
audience and you see that the card was it had his like thing on it. So it's like, oh, she saved a seat for him. There's
Saved
a
a seat for
popular
him.
internet thing where she's at the Mia's at her laptop and she's emailing the invitations, right? And she doesn't BCC. You can see all the she CCs everyone, so everyone
She's
can.
just like everyone sees everyone's crap, like
Yes,
everyone's
and
email
that's
address,
why no one came to her show.
and then they're like, "Listen, you put us on blast, and we will not stand for it."
As in, like, the proper etiquette is to be if
Yeah.
you're,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
but that's why no one came to her show. But that's
My
just a
gosh.
very funny thing. Hey, what are you
Dude,
gonna do?
that's pretty funny. That would be the way to not get people to like you very much, for sure. Yeah, no, he doesn't show. That doesn't help him, and then it doesn't go well, and then she's kind of done, and she goes home, which is interesting. Like, and then it's also interesting to me, like, did they have a landline? Like, is that what this person called? Like, why were they calling him about her audition?
Good question.
Because that to me
Good
is like,
question.
otherwise how?
Maybe she left her phone.
Seems like no.
Good question.
That's like saying I left my right leg behind. Like, like that's just
Her
that.
laptop, maybe? I don't know. That's a very good call out that I don't know an answer
Because
for.
I'm like, it's
How
very
did she miss the
unlikely that
call?
like he would like someone would know, be able to be contacting him. So it makes me assume they had to have some kind of landline, and that she weirdly was putting that instead of her cell phone, which I wouldn't put it past him to have a landline because he's just kind of odd enough. Like, but it would be interesting that she would be putting that on things, because otherwise I'm like, why did they call him? Like, but if they don't call
Maybe it
him,
was
then
mail.
like,
Who knows? I don't know.
well, there's the person calls him on the phone, like, and he says something about like she's not here anymore or whatever, and he's like, wait, what? You're from where? And then like he like gets the details and all that stuff, and then goes out and tries to talk her into it. But yeah, that scene, like whether or not they're together or it's just like a person, like I feel like everybody has that moment or multiple versions of that moment probably throughout the years of like, just forget it, I'm done, like with whatever the thing is. Or maybe it's just me that has them repeatedly. But she just like, it hurts too much, like, putting yourself out there, trying to make the thing, trying to do what you love, getting critiqued, getting not paid attention to, which is probably worse than being critiqued in some cases, in her case. And he's trying to say like, but you have to keep trying, and she's just like, it's one of those scenes where you leave the scene ends and you're not sure if she's going to go with him in the morning. Like, you don't really know or feel like for sure. Yeah, that's like the most like scene that's like in the feels for me in this movie is probably that one, more probably than even the ending, which is hard to imagine, but it's just a painful movie. But like, I think we all struggle with that, and especially like if you're trying to put yourself out there, there's such a struggle between being authentic and being like, what people want, or having people pay attention or whatever. I don't know. I think she's just tired. You know what I mean? You ever get
Tired
just
of
tired?
trying and
Just
failing.
tired of it. What is it? It's a Taylor Swift
I'm
lyric, I
tired of
think.
this, Grandpa.
It's
Well, it's
too
too
damn
damn
bad.
bad. You
Yeah.
keep digging.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh.
Yeah. No, but I think it's a Taylor Swift lyric that says, "I'm getting tired even for a phoenix." Like, and I feel like, like that, people are always like, oh, clapping for people who are resilient, but sometimes resilient people get tired of being resilient all the time. And I think that's where she's at. Like, she's picked herself up and dusted herself off and gone back into the audition room how many times, and then like it's still not gone anywhere. And it's just at a certain point you just say, okay, maybe I need a
But it
timeout at
pays
minimum.
off. It
It
pays
does.
off.
It does. It does. I think it's just the difference between like when you hit that point, it can feel like you want to quit. Maybe you just need a timeout. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe you just need a break from all the trying, and then you can go back in there and do it. But like, yeah, it does pay off for sure for her.
It pays off for both of them, unfortunately, Do you think that she knew that she was stepping in the Sebs Club? I know that
She had to. There's got to be like signage to indicate where you're going.
But also, like, he walks into work and her face is around the corner. Did she forget where her ex used to talk about buying this club? Did she forget it this whole time? I mean, 5 years is a long time, but like, if that's his dream, I would have remembered it,
Oh, she remembered. I think she was like, had to, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think they were in the area, and she engineered it.
You think she engineered?
I think
subconsciously.
No, I think consciously. I think she masterminded that.
Really, just to check up on him.
I think she had to see. I would have had to see, and I would have probably pretended like I didn't know what was going on to make
Even
it not weird.
The longing look. There's a reoccurring bit, and not bit in this movie, where one of them looks back and the other is kept walking, and then the other one looks back and the other one is walking, like they keep missing each other looking. And that scene at the end of the club is the only time where they both look back and they both meet each other's eyes. And then the riff plays. And they're like, oh, they finally see each other. Yeah. And then you're crying all over again.
Yeah. Yeah. It's rough. It is violence, as Matt said. Emotional violence. I don't know, and I think it's so interesting that, I always like to ask the questions kind of what do we think about, because it's painful for so many of us, to watch this movie, and we all feel connected to something that, kind of has that achiness at the end of this movie. Right. We also all have, so many different lived experiences. So, that to me says there's something really deep and, core about, whatever's happening in that.
Have you had a relationship like this one? Have you had one that got away? No? Are you the one that got away?
I'm probably a bad example of that in terms of the romantic ideation of that. I've had talked to people in high school, but I didn't really officially date much in high school. And then I met my husband in college, and that's pretty much the best example here for no, I doubt that. But no, I think it's just I guess if I think about it, because to that question, you're asking, well, what would my personal corollary be? And I don't have a direct one of a person, but I think it's the idea of something that you hope for, or the way you thought things were going to go, kind of a almost future you thought was going to exist and then didn't kind of thing. We all have stuff that happens, and I thought I was going to have this job, or I thought I was going to do this, or, whatever. And then you end up doing something totally different, and it may work out better, but that does still sometimes there's a mourning of what you're letting go of for the thing, even if the thing is better. I think that, so this was a very fun, very different kind of conversation, but I loved getting to hear a little bit about I love when someone, I'll be honest with you, you were I disagree. I love when someone disagrees with me on this show. I do, because I learned something, and and I feel a lot of people, not a lot of people think about movies as much as maybe people like you and I do. And so to hear, your thoughts about it, I think was really cool. And I appreciate you taking the time to hash this out and like hear what resonated with you about this movie, and just
Thank you so much for inviting me. I had a good time.